comes down to training, how do you tell with an agent kind of if they've been well trained or not, and how much, I guess really how much training should be they doing each year?
They should be doing as much training as they need to do in order to make sure that they've got sufficient skills, knowledge and expertise to be able to do their job. You see people like sports stars, they've all got coaches, they all train all the time, they're never happy with their performance, they need to be doing it all the time. And so do agents, so does everybody. If you're doing a job, then you need to be rehearsing, practicing all the time.
And in actual fact, there's nothing to stop buyers or sellers coming along to this training either, is it? Because when I got out of kind of full-time work at 31, the first thing my accountant said to me is, Chris, no matter what you're going to do, why don't you just go and do the real estate training course, which is like a 4 or 5 day program, just to get an idea of what goes on. And I actually spent after that 6 months training as a mortgage broker, not to learn how to do mortgage broking for myself, but to understand the philosophy of how banks lend, because as a property investor, that's the biggest thing. I need to get hold of money. Now, for most people to go and do a job for 6 months, not to earn a cent, just to get trained, sounds like a stupid thing. But again, if you're buying property and you want to work out how agents negotiate and you can counteract that, you can make tens of thousands of dollars.
How much knowledge is too much? You can never have enough, and so the more they do, the better off they are, and that applies to agents. Now, they shouldn't just be looking at a single provider either. It's not a one-stop shop. I certainly would not claim that for our business. There's plenty of providers who provide excellent training services and programs all over the country. They should be looking for them.
And I guess it's pretty similar with the show. So the real estate conversations that we've had for the last 100 shows are reasonably similar, but it's having different experts on, give a different opinion, a different way of explaining things that may hit a chord with some people and not with another. So the more you can do, so much the better.
Yep.
Yeah. Obviously, from a mortgage broking perspective, again, what kind of CPD and that kind of training do brokers need to be going through?
We need to accrue now a certain amount of hours per annum, so we need to attend different industry conferences and training days. And like Tony said, you know, the more educated you are, the better. I guess there is a limit as to, you know, how much you can over-educate yourself. But look, I think, you know, you've really got to pick and choose the events that you're going to and what the education that you're taking on board. And I think it's really important to keep up to date and informed. And like you said, even in other industries that you work with, not necessarily just your industry. I think across the board you should be really quite informed about how a buyer's agent works, how a real estate agent works. I've got no problem with going to a real estate seminar to find out more about how the agents work with their buyers, so just so I can understand and educate my clients more.
Now, we obviously get quite a few agents and brokers kind of listening into the program again. Obviously, the market is pretty quiet. A lot of agents are struggling, and quite often training is the first thing that they'll try and put to the back of it. But is there also an argument that this is the time that you need to get trained because this is how your negotiation skills to get listings are even more important?
Knowledge, skills, expertise. They should be, if it's gone quiet on them, then they should be looking around to find out where they can go, what they can do to make sure that when it does pick up, they're ready for it as well, to set themselves apart. It's a point of difference. You know, they know more than somebody else. It might not necessarily be going off to a particular training course for a day or a half day or a full week. It might be, you know, getting some on the internet and devoting some time to some actual research about something else that they can try.